right? Love it. How you guys doing? Dan RadioStyle. Woohoo! Hope everybody is doing good. Turn this crap down a little. Doing a new format. Hope you guys kind of dig it. I hope you guys totally dig it. But we're doing a little something that's a little more just kind of, well, hang out, questions, Q&A, talk about things. You guys have things that are going on that you want to talk about? I mean, there's certain areas I won't tread. Politics is one. I don't know. I might dance around it, but I'm certainly not going to get all into it because I think it's ridiculous, especially here in America. I don't know. It's probably crazy in other countries. I hear France is out of control right now. If there's anyone from there, I'd be curious what all you guys are saying. I hear the vests are out more. I don't know if that's legit or if that's just what they're saying. So I'm curious. But anyway, happy everybody. We got Kim W's been in here chatting away. I don't know. She was early on. It was pretty sweet. Autumn Beauty, love to see you. Hello, hello. And like I said, doing kind of the new thing, so it's good. And Kim, you talked about, I got a copy of that Joseph Murphy book. Let me go back to it. This guy right here. Through his treasury. How rad is that? Yeah, it's kind of like Goddard's reading in a different way. It's like almost more really super technical. Wow, it's really loud, right? It's almost super technical, but I don't know. I love it. Like, I just do, like, seriously, a few paragraphs at a time. I have too much of this, and I'm just like, oh, overwhelmed. Brain barrier. Hard to do. So, yeah. Autumn Beauty, Kim. Everybody's doing good. Yeah. So, I got a couple things we can chat about. I got a couple things we can... Everybody else buffering? I think we're kind of waiting for some people to come in. There's not very many. Let's put it that way at the moment. Treasury has 24, what are they, free? Like, we're talking about the Joseph Murphy Treasury and getting free books. Good. Hopefully there's not buffering. 24, is just a big bunch of them? Do you got, I don't know, you could do the link. I'll let it go through, hopefully if it's legit in a Treasury. Sometimes I don't like links because they're not necessarily the people, so I can't validate them or whatever, and who knows what crazy links are out there, but yeah, go ahead and put it in. I'll let it go through. So anyway, yeah, a lot of things going on, and I pulled up a couple little ideas we can chat about if we don't necessarily have any questions yet, but certainly waiting for people to chime in. Again, kind of more of a hangout thing. We're going to chit-chat. We'll come up with some topics. One thing that's kind of funny, I just want to throw this out because we're still kind of fresh while people are coming in, but I did a search, law of attraction techniques, and I got to be honest, one of the first things I saw, and it's called the complete law of attraction guide, how to manifest something, blah, blah, blah. I didn't actually click on it because I felt that was pretty strong statement. Oh, to manifest your dream life. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so that all being said, you got to be careful. Just something to keep in mind, not to be a little discerning what sort of information is out there. A lot of times, it can get... people make claims. I've seen a lot of claims made. I've seen a lot of people drop quotes. Neville Goddard's a fun one that they keep dropping quotes. And I swear, that's why I keep kind of asking people to share quotes with me. Autumn Beauty, Lisa Marie, you've been really, really good and helpful in getting some of these quotes to me. And it's been awesome. And it's really cool. So right now, there is the Everyone is Yourself pushed out, which came from some lecture. And I did a video on it. And then there was another one the world is you pushed out, I think is what he said. But again, sometimes you got to really discern what information is out there. I've seen a lot of people that take information. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying they take information, kind of blow it out of context, and then spin it into a whole thing. And again, I think we're all, of course, trying to get our views and trying to get our people interested in us. But, sometimes we got to also realize that not everything that's out there is 100% true. And that's where I really that's the filter I put on things, by the way, is I think there's always some truth. So I go into it. It's like that whole yin yang, right? You got the whole circle and half of it's white, half's black, and you got the little dot of the other color in each other, right? It's a little bit of everything in all of us. So it's kind of groovy how it works out. So that being said, massive volume for Amazon. Interesting. So, okay, we got Don Champions cruised in here. Amy, woohoo! Nice to see you as well. Looking for questions. Again, we're doing Q&A, comments. You want to talk about something, anything that's going on in your world or just something you want to bring up. We can kind of have a little discussion about it. It's good for everybody. So yeah, discount Valentine's Day. Yes, by the way, that's a good point. All you chocolate lovers out there, or even flowers, by the way, the floral departments and most everywhere. I used to work in grocery too. This is markdown heaven because flowers die very fast. So if you guys want some beautiful flowers, today is a lovely day to buy some of those. Martina Sestre, hello from France. Awesome. I was kind of wondering if that whole yellow vest thing is legit or if that's crazy or I don't know. I was curious, anyway, just curious. Got Nicole in here. What's going on? Hello and good morning. from Susan Kuntz. Nice to see you. I remember how you helped me learn to say your name properly. See, I'm still learning. It's good, though. Goddess Angel, barely got some discounted chocolate. Bam! Went down to the Walmart, almost wiped it out. I bet you did. Bet you did. Oh, is where we are from Nashville. Word. Yeah, so I lived in Knoxville. We've talked about that. Gary knows. Gary knows for sure. Tennessee's a pretty cool place, man. It's very laid back. If you come from any part of the nation that's a little more upbeat, not upbeat, that's a bad sort of word. It's more fast-paced. That was the one thing that was really hard for me going to Knoxville anyway. It was just, wow, so much slower than I was used to. And it was cool. It was a very good pace. Not in London. Not in London. It's pouring rain today. Oh, that's a bummer. Staying home. Lisa Marie's chiming in. Do you always get what you desire? Me. Iman. There's a great question. Iman Guk? Man. Do you always get what you desire? That is an amazing question, right? And I think a lot of us have pondered this, have thought about this, might use this to disprove the law. Here's what I've found. Yes, definitely, for sure. There have been times that I have not gotten what I've wanted. I'll hit that from a couple angles too, just because we're waiting for some questions to come in and people to come in. But the idea of desires and them fulfilling themselves. Here's how it's kind of played out for me. I'm almost always been able to get myself either A, an interview, B, close, or C, something right before that was really, really awesome that I took anyway. When it comes to people, I've almost always been able to get up close to them, almost 100% of the time, been able to get like a face-to-face, if you will, be it trying to manifest a relationship, trying to manifest a job, trying to manifest a promotion, like being able to work with specific people. I've definitely been able to get myself face-to-face with them almost always. What happens then, I've found, seems to be dependent on, I've found, this is where I'm at, and whatever the authors say, I don't know, here's where I'm at with it. Where I'm at when I'm in front of them, I think my energy, my consciousness, who I am at that moment, I really feel like that's when that kicks in. Like, are you love if you're trying to be in a relationship? Or are you kind of sort of needy and all that stuff? Because whatever energy you're vibrating at the second you're in front of them, I feel like is kind of your make or break. And if you've got all your stuff together and like Neville talks about, you already have it, you're already it. Like I've been able to manifest the thing within short, reasonable period of time. But what happens when you manifest a time in front of a person? For me, it's always been about where I'm vibrating. And if I'm low, if I'm needy, if any of that stuff, it's not worked out. And if I've been solid, if I've known I own this, I got this, I'm the friggin' dude because I've been saying it all along, I am it already, and living that literally, and literally believing that. When you walk in front of these people, you have that energy about you, and it is freaking amazing when they're seeing you, because what you come across as to them is a super confident individual that's resonating in a really awesome energy, and you feel good. So if you're going for a job, you're probably one of the best choices, especially if your answers are on top of it. And again, if you get your subconscious and your conscious aligned, when you interview, you'll have all the right answers. You'll nail it. If you're not, if you're off, I'm probably going to screw up, I'm so nervous. Like, and you go into it and that's all you're focused on, your subconscious will sabotage you and you'll make sure you fail. So there's always ways that things play out, but have there been times I haven't got what I wanted and just looked back on it and said, I'm sure it's for the best, or eventually seen that I found something better that I never would have found? Yeah, there are definitely times. I wish there was an easier answer. I know a lot of people just want like it's black and white. That's not what I teach, and I hope it's cool that I don't, because I don't really think that's true. Maybe it's my belief or whatever, but I've seen it happen with a lot of people. It's not just myself. Like I've worked with a lot of people, and I've seen stuff like that happen. So hopefully. All right. Hello from Chicago, Oksana. I hope I'm saying that right. Angel KNY. Good morning from New York City. That I never forget there was a Pace Pecani sauce commercial, right? Where they're like, "Where's your sauce made from?" And they're like, "New York City." And these guys were from like Texas, I guess. And they're like, "Get the rope," It was a horrible commercial back in the day. I mean, nowadays I guess you couldn't get away with that. But New York City, I didn't know anybody made salsa there unless they're in a restaurant. Someone's getting drunk. Nice. Cherry liqueur from chocolate. Oh, nice. Lisa Marie, good for you, girl. Oh, yeah, because it's you're like 8 hours ahead or something right now. So, oh, yeah, it's a perfect time to start drinking it down. Lisa doesn't have any questions either. What's going on? You got to share something cool with us, Lisa. You're like you're one of the senior people here. You and Autumn Beauty both are senior people. I want to see you guys chime in with some cool stuff or some crazy question or something that you think is cool and you're wondering or whatever. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Keep me on my toes too. Faguni Katri. Hi, Dan. I hope you are having a great day. I actually am. Thank you. How do you deal with family that you struggle to put up with? I saw your story on this journey that matters, but can't stand it. Well, so here's, I guess here's the way I've kind of come at it, right? Like, people are people for the most part. Like, here's how I'm just going to share with how I've generally handled looking at situations in my life. Whenever I've been in places where I didn't necessarily like who I was living with, or I didn't like my living situation, generally speaking, or working situation for that matter, I had a boss I hated. Like, rather than trying to change the boss, rather than trying to necessarily change them, I've always felt that I've had a couple different options to go. One, to try to work on the relationship with the individual. I can't change them. They're not going to change. At least that's the way I come at it. It's just easier that way. I can control me. I can't control him, right? So coming at it from the standpoint of what can I do inside myself to make this easier? And I've found that if I get over some of the hang-ups I've got, maybe let go of some of the things that are causing me problems, maybe look at them a little differently, maybe, I don't know, humanize them sometimes. Whatever the case is, everybody's generally trying to do the best that they can given the hand they've got, right? Everyone's been dealt a hand in life and we're doing the best we can with it. That's really all you can hope for. So I've always found that working on the relationship's good thing. So Ho'oponopono, astral letters, just generally trying to change your mojo about how you think of them, maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. Again, it's easier in my mind to control myself rather than trying to control everybody else outside of me. And frankly, Neville agrees that change outside comes from inside. So I'm meaning it from both ways. But I truly think it's easier anyway, right? Like, that was always my approach at it, is easier to change myself. And I know when I change myself, everything around me seems to change anyway. So that being the case, it's like, oh, all right, well, this is kind of cool. It's a fun way to do it. So I handle it from that way. The other side of it is, I don't like them. I don't want to like them. They're kind of evil people. They're, you know what I mean? Like, I've learned my lesson, been around the contrast long enough. Then I manifest getting out. I manifest moving away. Now, I understand there's maybe differences in other countries and other places, but ultimately, and I understand it's expensive, but that's the cool part about it, is with freedom comes a little bit of a financial burden, if you will, in the Western society anyway. But that being said, you've got some sort of freedom, a little bit, and we can debate all that, but whatever. Compared to living at home, when you finally get out on your own and you can, like, you know, order pizza and eat it in your boxer shorts, like, life's grand, right? I mean, so it depends how you look at it, but I would kind of tackle it from one of those two avenues, and maybe both, if that helps, hopefully. So maybe that gives you, Falguni, that gives you some help. Nashville is a fun city. That's what I've heard. It's a very fun city, and yes, Elvis, right? Wasn't that his name? Graceland, right? Going to Graceland, Memphis. Oh, it's Memphis. Hello, sorry. Oh, well, maybe I should learn the songs that I'm so fond of. Lisa Marie, all desires exist as potential in the quantum. I love that. So it exists as creation is finished. I love that. Match the frequency and you get that. Yes, that's kind of what I was saying, I think. Really, that's what my mind is about it anyway. You also need to stay in high vibes all day. Quantum only responds to. So here, you're bringing up something really awesome. And I'm going to do a video on this. And this is going to be my new mantra for probably a long time. It has come from these two books, Power of Subconscious and the Goddard Reader. Like, just all the, I think I've done 5 books now out of that, of Neville, I've done videos on. And it's the idea of what does it feel like to have the wish fulfilled? And I've thought about this. This is something, just a fun little thought exercise, but what does it feel like to have the wish fulfilled? And I've thought about it. So, like, if it's money, an example, to have a lot of money, to be wealthy. Now, I know it to my relative standpoint, and I'm working at expanding that, but it's not bad. I'm not in a bad place by any means, right? And the concept is, and the way it feels, is that life's pretty good. Life's great. Wake up, I'm happy. I got like a lot of what I want. I enjoy my job. Like, professionally, life's great. Like, when you see it and life's kind of in a good place, you feel like you're on top of the world. You feel like life's awesome. And I thought about, all right, well, what if I was in a relationship? How does that feel? And when you're in love, it feels awesome. You feel like you can fly. Like, everywhere you go, you're flying on your wings. Like, you've got magic wings that popped out of your back because you're in love. I'm like, okay, what about getting a promotion? where you feel like well, in my case, a man, but like you feel like enhanced, you feel elevated, you feel like, wow, I'm getting the appreciation. I am on top of the world. And I realize that's one of the consistent things it seems like whenever we expand ourselves, whenever we want to manifest bigger than where we currently are, is to realize that life is awesome. And if it's hard to see how it's awesome because you don't have it yet, there's one where the imagining comes in. Like, if I have it, is life going to feel awesome? Like, right now, it doesn't feel awesome because you feel burdened and all that, maybe with bills and stuff. And again, that goes back to, what are you focusing on? All you're seeing is the bills. If that's where your consciousness is, you're manifesting more of that feeling. But when you look at it from no, life is awesome because I already have it. I know it's coming. Wealth and income is coming to me. My promotion's coming to me. This awesome person's coming to me. Like, when you wake up and you realize, I am actively playing a part in my movie, and I get to watch where the love story unfolds. One of the best parts when Harry met Sally is when they first met each other. Granted, that's a super old movie and no one's seen it, but it's an awesome love story movie. And like, when they first meet each other, it's weird, and it's the story, and then later it evolves, and you're experiencing your evolution. And when we see it that way, and when we hold that feeling that, yeah, this is awesome. I mean, it is. It's freaking fun. It truly is fun. And when you come at it from that way, I tell you, whatever the hell you're trying to manifest, it's going to happen way more significantly. When the people meet you, you're going to have that vibe, so you're going to be way better off right there. And especially if it's a specific person, even if it's an ex, if you're vibrating like you're on top of the world, you're standing there like, da, 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 right? And this is my world. And all they want to do is be with you now. Why? Because you're so confident and awesome in your own self. And man, that's seriously the secret to life. I hope that helps. I don't know. It's a lot of good stuff. Lisa, who are you being? That's very true. All right, Trail Hunter. That's a kind of new name. Shy Tricia, nice to see you, by the way. Ideas for someone trying to get a job in a certain field for a long time and no luck, really, because where I live is not fertile for these kinds of jobs. So you've got some beliefs right there, Trail. That's the thing you've got to get over. If there's a job and it's all about the job, stop worrying about all the, well, this isn't a good, it's kind of tough over here. I've got some competition. Those people are better. They don't like my race. They don't like where I'm from. There's all sorts of lame excuses, no offense, lame excuses that we throw out there for people because we just want to. And again, that's the whole thing I've been talking a lot about with subconscious and conscious, is your subconscious just takes whatever the hell your conscious thinks and runs off with it. And if you happen to think that where I'm from isn't have any jobs, then your subconscious mind's like, all right, I'm going to prove that right to you. But I dare you, and here's my dare to you. I dare you to believe for 1 week, every day, say it over and over, that where I live, there is an awesome job. There's some great tech jobs. There's some awesome tech jobs in my area. There are some definite tech jobs. You don't need to get into how many. You don't need to get into what. But you know what? In a week's time, it won't surprise me if you somehow come across a news article about some company that's moved in your area. Again, what you believe, or if it's truly around the job, the other side of it is get ready to move. Get the hell out of your area, right? Like, that's silly. If I'm in a place and I can't possibly have my dream in my place, then I want to get out of my place. This place isn't going to work for me anymore. So it's something to consider as well. So I think that would be a couple different avenues to go with. But your general statement here is, I have beliefs that this can't happen. Yeah, it won't. So long as your beliefs are that it can't happen, you are correct. I've said this before and I love it, and it's one of the coolest things I ever learned as a child. My friend, I was 3rd grade, 4th grade, somewhere around there. His mom always said, can't, never, could, because his kids would say, I can't. And she'd be like, can't, never, could. And you know what I learned from that? It wasn't even my folks. I learned this from someone else's family. But I learned that you're right. Determination is what does it, not I can't. So hopefully that makes a difference. You got this, man. There's definitely a job for you. Definitely. Just know that. Know that for sure. So thank you. You're welcome, Emily. Rosary 11, good morning from Dallas. Woohoo! By the way, I go down to San Antonio, all sorts, and in Austin sometimes too. We've got an office over there, but that is where my main job, which I love, by the way. That's YouTube's my main job. I don't know how you want to look at it. I make great money at the other thing. That's fantastic. Miss Hill, nice to see you. What's the difference between subconscious and intuition? Okay, so subconscious, they are different things and kind of totally different in a way, but subconscious, at least in my understanding of them, subconscious to me There's the conscious part, which is the decision maker. It's the part that looks at what's going on. It's aware. It's the part that like we are very aware of, right? The subconscious is the part of us that is, well, one, it takes care of things like breathing and all that, right? There's all those bodily functions that we don't have to worry about digestion. We don't have to think about it consciously to make it happen. So there's that component of it. But on top of all that too, the subconscious has been likened to the part of ourselves that has no ability to reason. It just does what it's told. An analogy that Joseph Murphy used that I think is really, really cool is the conscious is like the captain at the helm, if you will, and the subconscious is your crew. And if you're telling your crew to do what you want them to do and give them like, advice, like, hey, here's what I need to happen. Here's what I need us to get in line on this decision. This is what I'm trying to consciously sail towards. I need you all to help me. And they're like, oh, okay, sure. And they'll help you. But it's when we're like, hey, I'm sailing this way, but I don't believe we're going to get there. So, hey, can you start bailing water because I think we're going to drown, right? And they're just like, oh, okay, start bailing water. And then suddenly there's a leak. And they're like, oh, there is a leak. Holy crap, right? Like all of a sudden you've manifested your fears. So subconscious is the part that just does as it's told. It doesn't care. Intuition is part of a consciousness shift. And I really think this has more to do with like, okay, I've talked about chakras, right? We got 7 chakras. One of the fun things about our chakras, the first 3, the base chakra is the root, and then you got the second and third. You get up to the third one, which is your solar plex. And when you go from third to fourth, you suddenly get into the, I don't want to say higher chakras because it implies to people they're better, and it's not. Your root chakras are necessary. They're more for physical life, physical body, the earth, all that fun stuff. The upper ones are more the spiritual, relationships, all that crazy cool stuff. Intuition starts to get into this stuff. And when you start really building through your chakras and awakening your higher self, and especially when you get up into your upper ones, your crown especially, you can really start to open up intuition and you'll start to pick up on things that are going on around you. So it's not really subconscious. Your subconscious is just doing what it's told. It doesn't care about anything at all. It has no I don't care at all. It's not even capable of being intuitive because it would require it to receive stuff from other places and it wouldn't know what to do with it. All it's listening to is you. It's like you're on a stage with a microphone and you don't realize there's a bunch of people in the audience that are doing everything that you say. Everything that you say. Like every time you say, I suck, I think I should just not try anymore. Everyone in the audience is like, all right, sucks. All right, screw, boo, and starts throwing tomatoes at you. And you're like, oh, I do suck. Oh, again, subconscious doesn't care. Intuition is a very cool awakening process. And as a lot of us awaken up, you will find that your intuition will enhance. You'll start to know things before they happen. You'll start to feel what people are feeling and be able to almost even know what they're saying sometimes. And precognizance comes in a lot of ways. Sometimes you feel, for me, it's more empathy. It's feeling for me, and sometimes words. But I don't necessarily see like things as much. I'm not mental like that. I'm a word guy. Obviously, I talk, I sing, I do all that. Like that's what I'm into. I have friends that are artists that can see it, and it's just cool. Like I love you guys, but I don't operate that way. So again, we're all different, and you're gonna shine in your own unique ways. But that's my understanding of it, and it's worked really well for me. And intuition's fun, especially if you're starting to experience that, and that's why you're asking questions, which is very, very cool. Okay, we got that. Let's see, Jerry, you are what you attract. Yes, indeedy. And then what does that kind of mean? Did we really? Wow, I gotta get going on this. Let's see. So here's a small manifestation. Lots of rubbish in my neighbor's garden. We're getting annoyed and just realized we had to intend it was gone. And I did this. I went to work and I had it disappeared later. That's an awesome example. And exactly. You got something in your life, your neighbor, for example, and every day I see it and it's horrible. Understand that you can manifest this changing, and it can happen even while you're at work. Like, this is going to go away. One day I can see myself coming home and it's all gone, and how awesome that's going to feel. And again, that's going to be really, really cool. So, MS, hi Dan, how to be effortlessly on mental diet, because sometimes feels like I miss out to convert my negative thoughts into positive. How to be lazy on mental, how not to be lazy on mental diet. Thanks. Have a fabulous day. It's just a process. And that's why I don't like the 7-day mental diet, by the way. I don't like the idea of exercising for a period of time. Like I'm going to the gym to lose some weight. Nah, you should go to the gym for the rest of your life. That should be your plan if you're going to do it. I try to go to the gym 3 times a week at least, maybe a 4th for a cardio day if I'm really lucky. But again, I try to build it into my life, and I love it. And it's a way to have healthy living. So to effortlessly have your thoughts and feelings and all these things in concert isn't really how and why we do this. It's not really about the manifesting stuff, which is hard for a lot of people to understand. What it's about is manifesting stuff is how the world works, and how it works is us focusing our thoughts and feelings. So what Earth is about, or this life here in 3D, is for us to learn how to control that. Because in 3D, it's really slow. In 4D, it happens much faster, right? So in 3D, and 4D, in fact, it's instant. And thank God it doesn't instantly trickle down to 3D, because a lot of us, think bad things about ourselves and then, oh, shoot, right? And if it was instant, can you imagine the damage we do to ourselves? But when you get yourself to a place where maybe 60, 70, 80% of the time, you're more or less in line with the direction you're going, your life takes off. You're a rock star. You're the dude on stage. Seriously, it's just the way it plays out, because so few people are able to really, truly do that. So that is the key, is to learn how to be good at that. It's like saying, how can I become a black belt without necessarily studying martial arts for 8 years, like at 4 or whatever, but to be really good, right? To be a master at something takes time. And I think sometimes that's the whole point. So maybe instead of seeing it as a negative thought got through, I thought I was being a good goalkeeper, realize, it's cool. And you got an awesome offense too, so don't worry. You've already kicked 20 goals for that one they just got through. No big deal. No big deal. Don't give the negative thoughts so much power. Understand, they are going to happen. They do. They're going to. It's okay. It's totally okay. Love yourself. Love the negative thought. Love everything about the process. Because ultimately, when you see it and go, whoa, no, that's not what I want. You just took a quantum leap. Seriously, that one thing is huge. The couple that get through, who cares? You're supposed to miss some of them, right? Like, real goalie, anyway, in soccer, you're supposed to miss a lot. Anyway, that's how it plays out. And it's fantastic when you realize that, hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm paying attention to this. Hardly anyone else is. You're on top of this. You've got the game going on. Love it. Nicole, nice to see you in here. I'm going to an interview. Was feeling solid. Woohoo, you got this already. Started feeling shaky when I realized I was thinking where I wanted to be creating company and not being offered. Whoa. Create in the company and not, yeah. I don't think I read that well. I'm going for an interview and was feeling solid, yet started feeling shaky when I realized I was thinking where I wanted to be or create in the company and not what was being offered. Oh, like you didn't necessarily want the job that you had, but you wanted something different. I would be, I don't know. I mean, if you want work, and I think that's kind of where you're coming from, if I remember correctly. I kind of see it as a positive. Everything's a step towards a thing. Sometimes we start off and we have to do some of the lower level work because we're lower level people and we're learning the business. Like sometimes, radio, man, I had to work crap stations in the middle of the night. Crap station, like a horrible station that nobody's listening to in the middle of the night, where literally I would beg to get people to call just to prove that one person was out there. It was awesome. So I've learned to talk to myself, for crying out loud, and had to put a mic up to my face and nobody's listening. What's the point? Anyway, Christine Evans, nice to see you as well. Anything that can help with writer's block? Yeah, writer's block. I was thinking about that the other day. A lot of the times it comes down to the simple fact it's a mind game and subconscious. And you got to realize, start telling yourself, dude, writer's block is just a mind thing. The ideas are coming to me. All my ideas are here. Everything's coming on. Get that thought out of your head. The writer's block is happening because you keep thinking of writer's block. You give it a name. You allow it to block. And your subconscious is like, okay, watch. I'm going to turn the nozzle off. Then what? And that's exactly it. So let it come. Let it come. Meditate, take a walk, whatever, but let it come. Realize that it's coming. Let go of this whole idea that I'm blocked. A block is, it's like, either a block is a big giant piece of, granite that just fell on you or formed a pyramid thing, right? Blocks are bad. Blocks aren't good. There's no positive about a block, or unless someone's punching you. That's not such a bad thing. So try to get that out of your mind. Keep realizing, I got this. I can do this. The next chapter is ready to write. Say stuff like that, whatever you're trying to write. Come at it from that angle. Okay, what do you think? What do you think the idea of setting intentions for others? I've seen a few people talking lately about setting intention for someone else to do that you want them to. Goddard talks about that, and I agree with him in a bunch. And that was on that lecture, and where the whole thing is yourself pushed out, actually, is where that whole term came from. And I'm going to quote it, yourself. Everyone is yourself pushed out. And what he was referring to, well, at least in this context, in this lecture, was he was talking about whenever you're trying to manifest, I think there was like a job promotion, there was like a house, there was a few things that basically required like someone that you're going to interview with to, do what they need to do, right? So I feel like I've got to influence people if I'm trying to manifest a new job, for example. Do I have to figure out who the boss is going to be that I'm going to interview with? And do I then have to try to interview, influence them with, I know it looks like I'm probably doing something bad, but anyway, yeah, that's my forcing face. But if they do anything, like, am I trying to make them hire me? And it's like, no. You don't handle it like that. You don't think of it like that. I'm manifesting the job. And in doing so, that's going to essentially create the movie. And then whoever's playing the part, I've handed them a script already that says, hey, you're going to hire me. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah. Hey, are you smart? Cool. Do you want this job? Cool. Why'd you leave your last job? Awesome. You want to work here? Done. And that's how it goes. So don't worry about influencing other people. And specifically, I feel that when we do it, it's because we don't want to change ourselves. And I honestly find that the success rate when done that way, when you don't truly change internally, I've found the success rates tend to suck badly. And in fact, in most cases that I've found, the exceptions being just oddities, but in just about every case I've found where people aren't successfully manifesting, at least getting in front of the person they're trying to manifest, or at least getting a chance at it, I usually find it's because they have beliefs that they don't want to deal with, or it's always everyone else's fault, or they're always pointing fingers out at everyone else. It's like, yeah, you don't understand that it's you that's got all this. No, I've looked at myself. No, you haven't. I've just talked to you for 5 minutes, and you've already told me a whole bunch of things that indicate otherwise. So it's one of those things where sometimes we just can't see it, and it's hard. So that's a big, long diatribe on that. Don Champion. Dan, what exactly does it mean to let go? Does it mean that one shouldn't over-visualize or spend too much time repeating I am affirmations? I sometimes wonder if I'm trying too hard to manifest. Yeah, manifestation shouldn't feel like an effort, really. The way it really plays out, okay, letting go is the question. Let's not get off on a total wrong path. Letting go is realizing that I've already got it. That's letting go. When you understand that I have it already, would I ask for it again? If I realize that I've just gotten to Disneyland, would I ask, when are we getting to Disneyland? Now, I understand that if I'm trying to manifest something, the idea of letting go is like, to me, it's the asking. It's the asking over and over and over. The living in the end concept, to me, at least after spending a lot of time with this, is really holding the feeling. Living in the end, to me, is holding that consciousness, holding the feeling. Especially after reading more Goddard and now Joseph Murphy, it's holding that consciousness, that feeling, that level. And the longer we can hold that, the quicker we get our manifestation. So I find that letting go, you don't really ask anymore because you realize, okay, I've imagined it, I see it, it's now crystallizing. No need to ask for it again. Don't need to ask. Now it's just really is more of an issue of when are we going to get there. But you shouldn't ask that anyway. It's like, I've got it already. Everything is unfolding. It's happening right now. I'm experiencing it. And really, these are the things I tell myself. Even like when I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about crazy stuff with work, and I'm like, no. And then I'll just start thinking this mantra, like, everything's cool, life is good, you're enjoying the growth of your channel. Like, it's just, there's a lot of really fun stuff going on in my life right now. And when I forget to focus on it too, I sometimes forget to have fun. And I sometimes forget to feel good. So when we spend so much time trying to do efforts, the efforts are to put it in your mind. Once it's in your mind, it's on its way. I mean, now you just appreciate it. If I go back the following day and imagine it again, why are you imagining it again? I mean, not you, but everybody. Why do we do it? Why are we doing the effort? Why are we imagining it again the following day? I mean, do we think it solidifies it faster? I mean, technically speaking, it was solidified yesterday, and it's just an issue of crystallizing. Like, it will take but a moment's time, as Goddard says, and I think he's beautiful in the way he pronounces it that way. So if it's but a moment's time, and then the following day, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it again. I don't know. Like, I don't know. In my mind, that's where I'm kind of at with it, where it's like, no, I already got it. I don't need to keep doing that. Now, do I think about it? Sure. Do I imagine it in other situations? Yeah, absolutely. Like, I keep thinking about it, whatever it is, the income, the potential, the new job, what I get to do and experience. But am I imagining the interview? No. Or am I imagining just getting a job? Like, no, it's like, I realize this job's mine now. So now it's like, all right, I'm going to expand into it. I'm going to think deeper. I'm going to extrapolate out a few months. Now, where am I at? Ooh, this is going to be fun. I'm going to, probably be presenting in boardrooms, and maybe I should get some better clothes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it starts a whole different process of thinking for me. And, like I know that kind of seems like a weird way to talk about this, but that's kind of truly how I see the letting go process. It depends what you're doing. And then there's been times where I've been frustrated and I'm like, screw this, I don't care. And I kind of let go of it and see what happens. Like, that's just like, I don't think about it. I don't talk about it. I don't imagine it. I don't visualize it. And I just get out of my own way, because it's been something that's been too in my head. And actually, I've usually found when I do that, usually within a matter of days, I get clarity. And either A, I refined my purpose on why I was all into whatever the heck it was I was into, or B, I realized, I don't need that anymore. I don't want it anymore. And it just doesn't fit like where I'm at. Like, maybe I wanted something for 6 months, and then 6 months later I've changed significantly. And now it's like, I wanted that 6 months ago. I don't want it now. So, there's all that. And, and a bag of chips, I think they would say, right? Let's see, that was Dawn. Lisa, you're talking Joe Dispenza. That's proven time and time again that the quantum will never lower its vibe to you to move up to your desires. Yeah, I like that. Like, that's how I see expansion. So that's a great way to quantify that. You like what I did there? Yeah, that's a great way to actually qualify it would be more appropriate. I just got mad at someone for doing that the other day. John M., funny how you mentioned flying thing. I always meditate on my SP to the song Flying Without Wings. Oh, that's cute. It's awesomeness. Let's see, John M. as well as Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are. I love that. That and that wedding song he has, that one's pretty cool. And then if you watch some of the impromptu things, like videos that are out there of people like proposing to people with that song, it's pretty crazy, man. They're doing all these dances and stuff. I'm like, I wish I could dance better, and that would be cool. Lisa Marie, makes sense to be natural in the state of being, always coming out from Lisa Marie. Good stuff. Shy Tricia, oh, I have a cute story. At the bookstore, son said he wanted a book about Pinocchio and dinosaurs, and a little later he pulled off the shelf a book titled Pinocchio Rex. That's freaking awesome. People talk about, well, how come kids don't manifest? There you go. Yeah, they do. It's just different. Kids think in really cool ways. We're the ones that are all complex. One way to feel more wealthy is watching more credit score increase. Mine just went up this morning again. I feel so rich today. Woohoo! I'm not touching that one, Christine, but there's a good and a bad in that, but that's cool. I mean, I like your celebration. That's a good way to look at it. Dan, I'm not going to lie. Dealing with bouts of depression makes it hard to feel good about what I'm manifesting or anything else. Kim, I'll tell you this. I've had plenty of bouts of depression. Just kind of even went through a small one recently. They're fun to remind myself about every once in a while. And again, the same thing for me was I was focusing on what I didn't have rather than focusing on what I do have. When I shift my focus back onto what I do have, what's good, what's great, what's happening in my life, I almost instantly come out of the depression. So again, it comes down to what do you want to focus on, and it's important for a lot of us, especially us that are empathic. I'm assuming you're probably in that somewhat. You feel things pretty intently. So as you spiral down, it can be a painful experience. You've got to learn to spin out of that. You have to. It's for you that needs to learn that. I feel you. I do it bad too. But I do it good now, actually. So there you go. Especially now that I'm talking about it, which is fantastic. Let's see. We got all sorts of people chiming in. Love it. See if anyone comes out here with some new stuff. And again, Q&A, guys. Anyone's got any questions? This is a perfect place to do it. Did I skip past a bunch of stuff? I might have. It's perfect place to ask questions. That's kind of we're just calling it a hangout. It's a chance to get together and talk about stuff and see where we're at. And if I missed a question, please copy and paste it. I'm just trying to. I see a lot of chat just amongst yourselves. Let's see. Swag Yusuf. How can you allow abundance in your life times 100? So that's kind of like what it is to me is that you're very focused on a specific amount or like getting there very quickly. And I find that whenever we do that, we create separation from the thing that we are, which is abundance. And your abundance is up to you, how quickly you can expand that consciousness, or as Lisa Marie was saying, how you can get that quantum level to expand, how quickly you can quantize yourself. It truly is along those lines of how quickly you can raise your vibration. So to think of it in the terms of you're now, let's just say hypothetically, I want you to imagine for a second, Mr. Yusuf, if you had 100 times your current paycheck. Right now, your paycheck's, I don't know, let's just call it $1,000. And right now, you get that every 2 weeks. Maybe every week. What the hell? Let's make it fun because it'll just make the math even more complex. Well, easier maybe. Whatever the hell. So every week you get $1,000 times 100 would mean every week you're getting $100,000. Now, first off, what does that mean? What is different in your life? Where are you living? Let's imagine the palace that you probably own, or the stadium that you call your home, right? With the airport. Like, it's like John Travolta's house. So he's got he can just pull up his 727 right to his house. Like, and I think Tom Cruise has that too. He's like in the same neighborhood where they like live on an airport. How freaking awesome is that? But again, like, let's imagine what $100,000 a week is. $5.2 million a year in income. What does that mean? What are you doing? What's your life like? That's how you expand your consciousness. Now, I would imagine you feel pretty awesome, but then you've probably got concerns because you've probably got business. Maybe it's just all investments. I don't know. Maybe you're planning on winning the lotto, but again, how do you invest? Because if not, your money doesn't continue to recycle itself. That's one of the things that's hard for a lot of lotto winners is they haven't created abundance or a flow of money. What they've done is created a big dump truck worth of cash, and eventually they spend it all, and then they're like, oh, shoot, I can't pay for my $1 million home anymore, or my property tax is too much. I don't have a job to pay for it because I was living off my millions. So there's kind of ways to look at it, but ultimately, money is a flow, income's a flow, and ultimately, that's what you want to do is get your consciousness up to what it feels like to be abundant, to be wealthy, and spend your time imagining that, feeling that way, and that will help bring the abundance as quickly as you can handle it. 100 times, I don't know, but it'll be faster, and 100 times might not be natural for you, so you might want to take it down a notch to maybe 10 times. And then once you've manifested 10 times or even 5 times, you'll be like, all right, let's redo that. I want to manifest it 10 times again. Like every couple of years revisit, or every year revisit. Like, it's a growth. You're not just usually going to just instantly go to rags to riches, right? But it happens. No question about that. I'm not trying to say it doesn't, but for a majority of people that are manifesting abundance in their lives, it is an expansion and a flow. And you get to this place where you're like, you're doing book tours, or you're making videos, or you're like your favorite video game, and suddenly you started doing all sorts of cool, stuff from it, like, whatever. You like started making videos out of that video game, and it became super popular, and you became wealthy from it, right? Like, there's a lot of cool things that can happen. I got a buddy that made a stupid phone app game, and it was stupid. And he actually got bunches of money, and then he ended up making a few more games. The guy's actually making a decent little extra bit of money on the side, just manifesting, or just building little phone apps. So it's very, very cool. Kim W., you're right. Someone recently told me I am an empath, and I explained why, and I totally am, and I feel things so deeply all the time. Exactly. And it's something that, because of that, like, it's like Spider-Man, right? And his spider powers, like, you've got like a superpower kind of, and you got to learn to deal with that. And it's a challenge. And the way we're wired, especially if you're anything even remotely similar to me, your brain's just like, right? And you think you just spin yourself down. It's like a drill bit, man. You just go charging into stuff. And and you come out the other side and you're like, oh, that was cool. But yeah, when it's in a bad direction, it can be very, very dangerous for us. And we've got to learn to catch that. We got to learn to catch it quick. And if it keeps going, then you just got to eventually catch it and go, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. So that's kind of how I come at it. Lisa Marie's saying, I think people need to forget about wanting this and that, as all desires already exist, ego or soul desires, and focus on only feeling. Once you feel good about desires, start manifesting. That's true too. I agree. I think sometimes we worry too much about the stuff, and the stuff is kind of separate from ourselves to a degree, because as you expand yourself, to what Lisa's saying, is as you expand your consciousness, as you expand where you're coming from internally, like as you understand that I'm bigger than this, I'm larger than this, I'm more abundant than this, and you say this in any number of ways, that opportunities start happening different necessarily than what led you to doing this. Like something like, I want to be rich, and you walk up and you start learning about manifesting, and you finally get your energy to the right place, and then you really truly start manifesting abundance truly in your life. And when that happens, you actually start to see different opportunities, different jobs, unique people, things that you're really interested in, someone else already is, and there's maybe a way to make money off that, or somehow get tied into something that gets you notoriety. Like it's just weird the way things start to open up. Your life expands. It's the lower our consciousness, the smaller our worlds, truly. And it's as we expand it out, it just becomes bigger and bigger. And with the bigger and bigger, generally more income, more people, better looking, nicer clothes, like just, I don't know, better jobs, like everything comes from that. It's energy. It's the Billy Joel syndrome. For anyone that remembers, she married Christy Brinkley back in the day, and Billy Joel wasn't exactly the hottest looking dude, but he was a great singer, so maybe that was enough. But whatever. They called it the Billy Joel syndrome, right? Like ugly guy, hot woman. Dude, because he's a rock star. Hello, he's got that energy. He was, he was unstoppable. Hell, Elton John married a woman that was very attractive, and he wasn't even straight. Like, that's got to be a challenge. So, anyway, I've been watching Rocket Man like over and over. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Anyway, simply divine. Much love, light, compassion, and childlike wonder for all the highest potential of all creation, for all of life. Good for you. You are a beautiful soul, because that's exactly right, man. That's just a good way to live, folks. That's a great way to live. Just love, gratitude, and just love to everybody. Just throw love on anything. Just walk around and just fling love on stuff and just watch what happens. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Let's see. Time for Prosecco? Is that a drink? I don't know what Prosecco is. What is? I could look it up. It would slow me down. Let's see. Swag. Hello. Feel like it's always coming slowly, but when I'm well-rounded human being, just waiting on my shot. Thank you. So again, what we talked about earlier with you, you just made 2 more statements, albeit, and I want to give you credit, my friend. I want to give you credit. So please stick with me. You are doing better. Definitely better. Definitely better. You improved. You're steering the ship out of negative waters. One of the things I was thinking about is anytime we're kind of having tough beliefs, sometimes altering that belief even just a few degrees. So I can't ever get this. And then go, well, it could happen. That's a big step. And for a lot of people to be like, dude, that's still negative, Dan. You're like, well, you're right. But if you're trying to steer someone away from it can't happen to, it could possibly happen. I could think of one, like if that person died. Right. Well, now we're making progress, right? So again, it can, and eventually you steer yourself around. So I feel like it's always coming slowly. Okay. Before you were kind of more blocked because there was no jobs. So now it's coming slowly. That's an improvement, but you're still kind of putting the brakes on your own thing. So I would work on that. Just again, try to look at it. That's all. I'm just trying to help you see what you're saying a little better. And then I'm well-rounded human being, just waiting for my shot. Again, waiting. You got waiting implied in there. So long as you keep telling your subconscious mind that you're waiting, you're gonna keep waiting. How about you take your shot now? How about your shots now? How about it's now? Let's make it now. Let's stop all this waiting nonsense and let's go straight to it and see how that works for you. So hopefully that plays a part, makes a difference. Did I just jump past a bunch of stuff, or did I? I don't think so. Let's see here. Where'd I go? Autumn Beauty. The paradox is when you let go, and for me it just happens. I don't do it consciously. Your manifestation starts to appear. I think the problem, and that's a great point that you bring up. I think one of the problems that comes for a lot of us when we manifest, frankly, is we put so much effort on the imagining this scene that we kind of do it because we don't think we have it. We do the work because I don't have it yet in my physical life, so I must need to do the technique again because I don't see it in my physical life. But the way it happens is you create it kind of outside of the physical life first, and then it's created. It just has to coagulate down. It's like an hourglass. You flipped it over. All right, cool. It's like you're manifesting hourglass. And once all the little pieces come down into the bottom, then now you got enough to make it real in life, if you will. And then it happens. And that hourglass could be a 30-minute hourglass. It could be a 12-day hourglass. I don't know. But the longer you hold that feeling, realize that I have it already, and stop asking for it, essentially. When we can get out of our own way and stop trying so hard and stop doing the efforts and stop trying to think about it all the time and stop thinking, I must not have it, and this is why I got to do it. I'm going to do the technique again at lunch because I'm going to do it twice a day now because the once a day isn't working, so twice a day will. But that's acknowledging that I don't have it. And we keep doing it. It's like, I don't have it, so I need to do this technique. And then you do the technique and you're like, I got it. And then you stop and you're like, I don't see it. I don't have it. What the hell? And again, what you tell your subconscious mind is what's going to manifest. I keep telling my subconscious mind I don't have it because this is what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on what I see. And right now I don't see it, so I must not have it. And so we keep telling our subconscious mind I don't have it. So your subconscious is like, all right, so make tomorrow like today? Okay. You got it. Your wish is my command. Rather than saying, hey, no, whoa, hey, grab him by the back of the collar. Like subconscious is like, what? And you're like, no, how about we make tomorrow different? Is that cool? And subconscious is like, I don't give a crap. What do you want? Let's make tomorrow different. Subconscious is like, okay. Doesn't care. Make it different. Make it happen, Captain. And that's how you change life. So it is fantastic when we can really, truly stand up to that. Swag, good morning. Where are we still? Okay, cool. How can you allow abundance? Oh, there we go. Wow, I finally caught up to where I was. Sorry, it's jumpy. It's jumpy. Love Billy Joel. Cool. Saw him Wednesday, Wembley Stadium. Oh, that must have been so fantastic. Autumn Beauty. That must have been awesome. Lisa Marie, unconditional happiness, unconditional love. Take advice from those who have little living in mud huts who are happier than most billionaires. This is true. Yeah, it's very true. No, yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, it's excellent point. Where are we at time-wise? Okay, we're still cruising. Don Champion, would it be accurate to say that the concept of living in the end is like creating new episodes of our future life movie via visualizations? I find that's definitely one way of living in the end, but ultimately, and we've kind of been talking about it a lot. Yes, the scenes are awesome and the scenes are fun, but it's not the scenes that create. It's the realizing that I've already got this, that feeling that I have this. I'm on top of the world is kind of what I was saying earlier in this video. I really do think that's kind of the feeling for like accomplishing just about most every significant manifestation is like, I am awesome. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad ego way. I mean, just like, man, life is awesome. Like, this is awesome. Like, I can't, wow, this is so awesome. And it's an incredible feeling. So to me, the feeling is what does the manifestation. And feeling like I'm super abundant and feeling like I'm just an awesome person, or I'm a great YouTuber, or I'm an awesome Instagram, or I'm a great business analyst. I'm just using some of the examples that I'm involved in. But again, whatever your thing is, I'm an awesome writer, I'm an awesome this, I'm an awesome that. And really understanding that you are, that this is what you're here to do. Again, impressing your subconscious. If anything, your subconscious is listening to you going, yeah, you're awesome? Yeah, you're awesome. Hey, we love Dan. Dan's the best. Woo! Great. At least I got my own cheering crowd. That's why they always say you have to love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself, who the hell else is going to? Because your subconscious is like, yeah, we don't like you much right now. You stink. You don't look good. You're kind of overweight. No, sorry, Dan. Instead of me going, dude, I'm awesome. I got this. I'm doing great. And literally, they're all on the stage just going, you're like our favorite. So whatever the hell you say, yeah, we got to learn to be the captains of our ship. And so, long story short, living in the end to me is really holding the vision of having it. But understanding that I'm going to have all these cool experiences, yeah, it's awesome. I sometimes feel like when we place the experiences out there, we can separate ourselves a little bit from them, or I don't know. But they work, and the 99% of everybody, they work. But there's times where I'm like I feel like I'm waiting. When I get in a relationship, then I'll go to Europe. Like, just be careful where it's not those kinds of things. Like, yeah, I'm going to go to this restaurant with them. Oh, they're going to love this place. Like, that kind of stuff for sure. But, nah, I'll wait to do that until, not good. Don't wait for anything ever. And just remember, I have it all right now. So, again, hopefully that kind of rounded it out good. Like that. That worked out well. Got lucky. Happens. Let's see what we got. Dan. Miss Hill's asking, if you ask for guidance and your friend calls and give you the answer without you mentioning it, is that the subconscious creating the answers? If so, how that work and what is it? So we frequently talk about when you manifest in the world, and the way it is basically is your world's a movie, right? And it's liking it. And it's pretty close. I mean, Shakespeare said the world is a stage and we are all merely actors, or whatever the hell the quote is, probably bastardizing it somehow, but whatever. Like, the world's a stage. It really is. And all of us are actors. Some of us are actors in our own movies. Some of us are cameos in others. Sometimes we just bump into people and like, oh, we're going to have a little mini movie right now. Cool. So life's a movie. And how it plays out is when you're creating a movie for yourself and you require some actors to help, what happens is your higher self, which could be subconscious. I don't really know. I haven't decided. I think it maybe is totally different things that are sort of, anyway, doesn't matter. I don't know yet. Higher self, subconscious, sure, is working with other people's higher selves and subconsciousness and saying, all right, I need some assistance. Here's the script. Are you cool with that? And they're like, yeah, I'll play that part. That's groovy. Yeah, boom. And they do it. So again, people will play the parts for us because we need it in our movie. We've told our subconscious, hey, got some questions, need a little clarification on something. Can you provide that to me in life? Like, show me, like, help me understand this, because I don't fully understand it right now, and I really want to understand it better. And your subconscious is like, all right, cool, we love you, we'll do whatever you want. And so, yeah, whatever it takes to make that happen will happen. If it requires your neighbor to walk over and be like, hey, do you have a garden hoe? I was going to be doing something. And you're like, hey, real quick, can you help me move the TV? Because I didn't know how I was going to do this. And they're like, oh, yeah, totally. Right? Like, these things happen. It's awesome the way life can play out. So that's kind of how it is when we decide what we need. Higher self, universe, someone is going to find an actor that will come in and play your part. If you're really specific on who that actor has to be, sometimes we get into some muddy waters. But that being said, if you need just an actor, there's always an Actors Guild waiting to fill that role for you. Hopefully that helps. Swag's back again. A lot of us just want proper abundance, it seems like. And so wanting, again, is the concept that I don't currently have it, right? So understand that a lot of us are abundant and just don't realize it yet. I would state it that way. And you're right. Abundance is a freaking awesome, and yes, to Autumn Beauty's point, it's a freaking feeling, and it's so amazing, so amazing. And I love how Gary's just throwing it out as, yes, AB. AB lives, is right. Live is a gas. Yeah, whatever. But the fact that he's just shortening her name, I think this is beautiful. Love this. I don't know. I like how we're all getting together. But again, anyone's got questions, throw some questions out there. We're having a good time. Lisa Marie, it's funny you bring up rickshaw because one of the girls on my team, Hema, is heading back to India for like a month, I guess, as a grandparent or something. It's off in some village, and they really, really want the son to see her. And so it's kind of a beautiful thing. They're going out there. She's going to be out there for a while. But yeah, she was talking about like when she first moved out here to the United States, how big our freeways were and how much room there was, because like in India, like, you know, the road's completely packed. There's people walking, there's rickshaws, there's bikes and little scooters. Like there is no part of the road that's not used. But like here in the United States, we've got lanes, only one car at a time. And there's like, what? There's all this empty space. There's plenty of room for more cars. So it is pretty funny how it plays out. But yeah, she's saying rickshaw drivers in India make $1 for cycling 20 minutes in hot weather. They take the dollar, kiss it, and say, thank you, God. This will stay as rickshaw drivers unless intention is there. It's so beautiful. And I mean, a lot of them, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like Uber and Lyft right now, if you think about it too, at least out here in the States. It's like a way to make money with something that you've already got. I've got this resource, and there's an easy way to do it. So again, you know, bicycle, throw a little thing on there and keep yourself in shape, and bam, you're out there making cash. And, you know, if you can do it in the sun and not die, well, it makes you stronger then, I guess, right? Nicole, I always want to try to say your name, Zavaris, I think I was right. Have any suggestions for getting over the habit of being the person that recreates what you are trying to move away from? Subconscious limiting belief. I feel like I'm forgetting the aspect of myself. So what it is you're trying to move away from this, and you're very conscious of the fact that you're trying to move away from this. And the very act of moving away from something means I've got to stay relative to that something. Otherwise, how do I move away from it? It's kind of like orbiting the sun, right? Like, can't really not orbit the sun, but if you try to move the orbit away from the sun, you know, right? Like you're still stuck to the sun because you're focused on. If what you're trying to do is move away from something, like you're saying, then what it is you're moving to something. So how about changing your whole thinking of it rather than from moving away from, but moving to, and state what you're moving to. Start phrasing it that way, and you'll find that you start having a lot more success in getting away from this thing because you're moving to something else. Make it a destination that you intend to go to rather than, I just don't want to be here. That doesn't quite work. So hopefully that helps. Hi, Dan. I love learning with you. This is Renee Chavez. On 2 of your videos, you said exactly what I was thinking at the moment. And right now you're saying, boom! No, you did. I'm sure you did. Let's see. Thinking at the moment for word about my SP, even his name. Very freaky. Made me feel like I'm not crazy in the feeling. You are not crazy in the feeling. Keep feeling the feeling. The feeling is awesomeness. So hopefully that helps. Uh-oh. Oh, that was awesome. All right, cool. Best way to remove third party, stop thinking about them. Truly, the best way to remove third party is to stop focusing on them in any way, shape, and form. This is Shazad Ahmed. If there's a social media page where you keep seeing them, stop looking at them. If there's some place where you keep seeing them, stop looking at them. Like, stop looking at them at all. Oh, I'm going to have to cough again. Hang on, guys. I got to drink some water. All right, that should work better, apparently. Talk for an hour straight. Apparently, it eventually gets you. Sometimes, anyways. Normally, I can do it. That's amazing. There's anybody that knows me well is like, really, Dan couldn't keep talking? That's embarrassing. TP, my daughter manifested expensive concert tickets. My boss gave it to us for free. We listened to you in the car. Oh, that's sweet. She said she had no doubts that she wasn't going. She'd been dancing to the music. That's so sweet. That's cool. I like that. That's a very good story. I like that. Also, cows on the road as they're scared. Yeah, that is crazy. And in fact, it's kind of funny you say that because, again, our IT headquarters is down in Texas, in San Antonio. And one of the guys, I think it was in the Austin location, actually showed there was cows walking through the parking lot. And he's like, only in Texas. Well, apparently not. But Texans are kind of like that. Sometimes they're like the epitome of the Americans. And for all my Texan friends out there, you kind of got to admit it. Don't mess with Texas. I'm not messing with Texas. But Texas is cool. You guys are, like the Mexican food's better there than California, if you ask Texans. I think it's both really good because we both live on the border. But the one thing I've heard, and this is where I've been schooled, in Texas, it's about tacos. They do tacos, and their tacos are amazing. There's no question about it. I love their Mexican food. I've actually had burritos in Texas that are really good too, by the way. But they say in California, we're burritos. I don't know. I love burritos. There's no question about it. I think they're delicious. I eat both. I think Mexican food is amazing, and I eat it as often as I can. Well, yeah, that's it's probably a fair statement. Anyway, Miss Hill. Thanks, Dan. I like the movie analogy. Cool. Glad you're in with that. Melissa. Oh, is Melissa in here? There she is. I love Melissa. She's got that really long name. Was feeling really good about what I was manifesting, then had a bad dream. Does this show my subconscious is doubtful? Should I try to release resistance, or should I brush it off? Dreams are sometimes great ways to face realities in an arbitrary way. Dreams aren't necessarily real. Dreams do show what's a fear inside of us. I think dreams happen for a few different reasons, and so it's really hard sometimes to know exactly why you're having a dream, but the symbols are very, very specific to you. Dreams are very, very unique and specific to you, and so sometimes knowing you a little bit more would help kind of assess that, if you will. But dreams are not necessarily future-proving or anything crazy like that. Don't ever assume that per se. They can be, but generally they aren't. Generally, they are more of a subconscious release or merging two realities together. They're a multidimensional component of our lives, and it's tried to be related to us, and dream is the one place where it happens. Again, it's like here's your 4 and 5D component of your soul or who you are, trying to communicate to your conscious 3D self, and the ideas in 5D don't translate well. So that's kind of supposedly, and I agree with this, but that's where a lot of kind of crazy symbology and dreams come from. Otherwise, they tend to be very 3D world, like I was with my friend and I saw them in person. Yeah, that's kind of different. Renee Chavez, or are all things of clarity or very, or do you continuing the question? Where it happened? I don't know where. Okay, that just seems like a continuation. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Shy Trisha. Spring is a wonderful time to visualize abundance with trees, buildings, flowers blooming, tiny animals all scurrying about. And that is very, very true. And I'm very, very sad for all of you folks on this video right now that are heading into fall. Fall's a beautiful time, though. Leaves coming off, colors change. It's so beautiful. Anyway, but yeah, that's kind of one of the weird parts about the world I've always thought is how it's always different on the other side. Like Christmas is the summer and the other parts of the world. It's so weird to me. Anyway. That's my lacking of ability. All right, a lot of cool stuff, saying stuff. Oh, here's Lisa Marie in Texas. They might scare the cows away. In India, they have right away. Yeah, they have like rights in India. In India, they're kind of I believe for at least a sect of the population or a group of the population, a religious group. I think there's like it's a very sacred animal to my understanding. So yeah, don't mess with cows, man. They're our friends. And they kind of would almost pick you up at the airport. It's kind of a funny joke that Stephen Wright did. Dog's a man's best friend, but he won't pick you up at the airport. It's kind of funny. But yeah, a cow actually kind of could. You could actually ride a cow home. They wouldn't probably be happy about it. Autumn Beauty Fall, as you call it, is beautiful. Hence, my YouTube name is I Was Born in November. Oh, that's cute. So, is that late fall? Isn't that winter? Is that wintertime? No, you're right. December into, you're right. That's awesome. Late fall, though. It's very, very cool. I like that. My brain, it's not good. Listen, I'm so honored Dan recognized me. Always, of course, your name is ridiculous. She's like, if I was on Wheel of Fortune and I said I would like to buy a vowel and your name was part of the answer, I'd be stoked, right? Friggin' 4 of them would pop up. Be like, oh, that's Melissa. I know who that is. I know this person. It's awesome. Love it. How does Deja Vu work with the law of attraction? That's funny you asked that because you'd asked me that in an email. My answer's still going to be the same, mind you, but I think it's a cool question. I assume that's why you're asking it. But I think deja vu, from my understanding of it, is when we create things in life, say when we're manifesting something, there are certain realities that kind of start to be created. Like our higher self's like, all right, this is going to be a key moment where Dan and the interview happens, right? So there's like markers that are placed in our lives, if you will. And these markers are significant for the path that we're on. Now, we can get off that path at any point we want, but we chose this path. We're manifesting this path. So a lot of the times we'll get to these moments, these snapshots, these specific moments in our timeline that are unique. And when we're actually experiencing them, we'll be walking up to it and be like, I remember this, like deja vu. And so a lot of that is because it's a very specific moment in our history that we've already seen a snapshot of in our higher self, subconscious, whatever. And so when our conscious self finally catches up to that space-time where this thing is trickled into reality, it's like, whoa, I've been here before. And again, it's the same concept and almost kind of proof and quantum and all that fun stuff, but it almost is kind of proof as how the thought is what creates the reality. And then we kind of come to it through experiences, whatever that reality is. And we experientially experience, walking through experiences, experientially get to that place. That's what time is to me, really. It's not necessarily this, like I can look at my watch and tell what time it is. It's more of a experiences, right? And so I've had hours that took forever, and I've had hours that flew by like nobody's business. It's not the time as much as the experience, and that's what you remember. Anyway, I feel like that's one thing I like about this new way we're doing this is I can ramble a little bit more. Gary, cows in India are considered to be lost relatives from my father who was there in World War II. Is that true? Or are you just saying something kind of funny? I don't know. That seems weird to me. I don't want to believe that, but who knows? I'm waiting for someone to chime in and say, that's ridiculous, or haha. Brown rice in Japan. That's a funny name. Hey, Dan, I have a strong urge to reach out to my SP to meet up with him, but I'm hesitating to because I am also trying to manifest a more reciprocal relationship. What should I do in this situation? There's complexities on that. So one, if you're just really important to get the face-to-face, and he'd probably be open to that, would he be open to hearing about you and your reciprocal approach? Or is he not, and you know he cares about you, and you know eventually he will reach out, but he's stubborn, and maybe in which case you might have to play the waiting game? I would say it would depend on a few things. I would kind of wonder his personality, the best way to reach him and to ultimately try to get that decision to occur. I mean, a lot of times when a dude loves somebody, we don't necessarily realize that what we're doing or what we're doing is not cool. And so, we're not necessarily, prone to not helping or changing, right? So I would take it from a couple angles there. I mean, ultimately, yeah, you can manifest, you can think and imagine him coming to you. I mean, that's really a good way to do it. And how excited you're going to be when he finally reaches out and you'll be like, wow, he did it on his own. And just holding that feeling and just being patient and letting it happen. I think maybe that's part of your guys' dynamic is you're maybe a little too quick to do it before he was necessarily ready to do it. And so maybe it's not so much an issue of him not being reciprocal, but maybe not reciprocating fast enough for you. So again, I think all things come from within inside ourselves, and that's usually how I like to tackle it. So my suspicion is, at least when I feel impatient for things, I realize it's because I'm separating myself from that thing, or I'm realizing that I don't truly have it in my mind. And so I've got to change that. And then I kind of don't necessarily feel the same way anymore. So I would maybe try to come at it from that angle. But again, factoring him in is, depending on how you're trying to play with this. But ultimately, from just a strictly manifestation point, just internalize it, make it happen. Not internalize, but realize that I can change this. I'm being impatient, and get him to reach out to you. He will. He cares about you. It's good stuff. Let's see. Mitsuri Rosales. That's a name I've seen before. I manifested someone I let go of a long time ago, and I thought I would never see again. And what do you know? How do I talk to this person? Hang on. I want to read this again because this is like a question that I manifested someone I let go of a long time ago, and I thought I would never see again. What do I do now? Or what do I do? How do I talk to this person? You talk to him. I mean, you just talk to him, right? Text him, Instagram. I don't know. I'm so I'm kind of, you can tell I'm perplexed or baffled by the actual question. Like, you manifested a cool thing in your life, and someone wants to talk to you. Have a conversation. That's what communication is. Why relationships oftentimes takes as long as they do, because they happen at human speed. But yeah, talk. See what's going on. Been a long time since we've talked. How's it going? What are you into these days? I don't know. I find sometimes, even if I don't know what to do, just ask them a lot of questions about themselves, and at least it gets you through small talk. That's my trick. If you don't know how to do small talk, that would be one of the things. Just ask them a lot of questions. What are you up to? How have you been? How's your family? How are your parents? Is everyone's health good? You just keep focused on them. It's easy enough. And you can start that way. And maybe they try to ask questions about you. Oh, well, you might be interested in me as well. Oh my God, this might work out as a relationship. Yeah, keep asking, keep talking to them. have a conversation however you can, meet up for coffee, I mean, whatever dinner, whatever works for you, phone. What is it? What are these meetings? FaceTime? I don't know. Any of those crazy things I got out there. Try them out. Shazad Ahmed. Isn't living in the end enough for manifesting? Can be if you are doing it where you feel it. If you're just thinking the thoughts or holding some sort of vision but not really feeling any different, you'll just stay where you're at. But you like to think of cool stuff and, but yeah, if you're feeling it and truly being in that energetically, just living in the end is all you need to do. Once you are it, no reason to stop being it, right? You just keep being it, and it will manifest or crystallize essentially before your eyes. Before you know it, it's just an issue of time. But a moment, as they would say. Let's see here. That's someone talking to someone else. Don Champion. Neville Goddard talks about meditation in some of his lectures. What does he mean when he refers to meditation? Is he simply referring to visualization and I am affirmations? Meditation, I think he means a few things on it. One, I know some of his background as far as some of I've talked about the esoteric stuff. People want me to be specific. I'm not really going to in a general term like this. I would on smaller scales maybe. But like Abdullah and some of the stuff that he was teaching and learning at that time. Meditation, for the most part, has a few different connotations. You can meditate very specifically about feeling nothing, just focus on your breath, clearing your mind, letting things pass through. The importance of that meditation, and it's really important, really, frankly, is it helps center yourself. It helps get you in a very good, energetic state. There are focused meditations, which is where you get yourself into a relaxed state, or even right before sleep. The lullaby method and stuff like that is similar. But like that whole idea of being kind of unaware of your body, and then you're just the mind and the experience of the mind. And you can put yourself in places and experiences, and you can even do things as fun as, like translocating, like literally go to another space and time, literally, and be in the place where it literally physically is in existence and be like, where is this place? I want to experience it. And you can put yourself into it and feel it and experience it. Like there's a lot of really cool things you can do from a meditative standpoint, or even simply, and some of the stuff that Goddard talks about more generally is, you just hold visions and experience it, like what I've been calling kind of make-believe. Like you get yourself to that place where you're pretending that it's real and seeing what it feels like. And that is a powerful experience because you're not really aware of anything else. You're not aware of the real world. You're not doubting anything. And it allows you to truly, in a very focused manner, experience the wish fulfilled and all that good stuff. Hopefully it kind of helps. I don't know. That's what meditation is to me and the experiences over time. Melissa, what is your opinion on using dating apps or casually dating while manifesting an SP? Does it go against living in the end? It's like, why are you dating if you're wanting to meet someone else? I mean, what if your specific person saw you with someone on one of these dates? Would he maybe not approach you? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like from my standpoint, it seems to go against the idea of I want to be with a specific person, but I'm going to date a bunch of others. But I know people that maybe it's a better idea to do it. So let me say it this way. If you feel like dating other people is something that's benefiting you right now, maybe help keeping your energy up, maybe, I don't know, getting you out and getting some dinners, whatever, maybe meeting some people that are really, really awesome. Like maybe being open to finding love in general might be something I would consider looking into. Like if you're SP, you just want to be in a specific relationship with him for some reason, or do you really want to be in love and have a relationship with a wonderful human and actually maybe have a family and all that kind of crazy stuff? Then maybe the dating apps actually might be your subconscious or whatever trying to get you to head in a certain direction. So again, I find it's helpful to keep your alignment in the direction you'd like to go and not do other things if that's truly what you want. So again, I know I've talked all over the place, but it truly depends. Like there is no black and white. Like if you're saying I want my SP and only my SP, well, you're not showing that, right? If you're saying, I don't know, I think I like my SP, but I'm kind of frustrated with it. It's taken a long time. I want to do the dating apps. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, do it for sure. Like for sure. Sometimes, he might be what I've called the tow truck driver, but maybe he's just someone from where you were 5 years ago, and maybe right now where you are, you guys aren't compatible. I don't know. there's a lot of things that can play into it. Ultimately, if you're trying to find happiness, you're trying to manifest a reality for yourself. What is that reality you want? Take steps towards that. Don't take steps in other directions and hope that's going to get you where you want to go. So maybe do some soul searching. It sounds like there's a little perplexed kind of feelings going on inside yourself. Maybe you're not 100% sure what you want. Maybe it's just harmless. I want to go out. All right. I mean, again, just kind of assess what you're trying to do, and that would affect my answer to you a lot. So I just gave you about 5 different answers. Hopefully one of those is like D. That was the one. Rainy X. What are your ideas on manifesting a stubborn ex? Well, if you want to manifest somebody that's stubborn, yeah, you could do it for sure. I don't think that's what you mean, but that's what you said. What are your ideas on manifesting a stubborn ex? Yeah. I wouldn't want to manifest someone that's stubborn, but if that's what you want, try to imagine someone that's constantly fighting you every step of the way. And if that is what's happening, then keep focusing on how he keeps fighting you every step of the way. Keep noticing all the different things that he does to show you how he's fighting you every step of the way. And you'll continue that behavior ad infinitum, forever, is a fact. If, in fact, your question was more to change it, well, maybe start noticing all the places where he does things correctly. Maybe start even giving positive reinforcement for what it is that you actually do desire. Maybe sometimes too, and I've seen this happen with a lot of people, where maybe you give contradicting like ideas, like do this, don't do this, like move that here, move that there, move, right? Like maybe you're a little inconsistent in your message too. Like again, I always start inside. It's easier to fix myself than it is to fix someone outside of myself. There's a lot of ways you can approach this. You can try to directly influence them, but you can certainly look inside of yourself and be like, well, this thing bothers me every time he does it. What is funny is if you decide, well, that doesn't bother me anymore, or whatever, that's just how they are, and I accept it, and I love them, blah, 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 they almost invariably stop doing that behavior that you didn't like. So sometimes that can be the quicker way to that path as well. So kind of up to you. You gotta kind of pick and choose how you want to navigate that one. Let's see what we got going now. Alignment first. Let's see. Rainy X, I feel. Yeah, you guys are talking back and forth. All right, cool. Maybe we're getting to the end. Anyone got any questions? You can chime in. If not, we might be groovy. An hour and 20 minutes isn't too shabby. Let's see. I'll give a couple. Goodbye, all my internet cousins. You're out of here. Yeah. You know what, Shy Trisha? That might just work for our excuse to bail and boogie. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to actually play a different song that I haven't played in a while, which is kind of fun going out this time. But, yeah. I know it's fun. I hope you guys like this new Hangout concept. I think it's what I want to do going forward. Kind of want to see if we can, I don't know, get people together, get people chatting like you guys are, get people asking questions, getting us all talking about things that are fun and groovy. And, I don't know, we'll see what we can do, see about changing the world. And eventually, I don't know, who knows, maybe we get enough people and it kind of becomes more of a radio show, which is my hope, I guess. But if we get ourselves to that place where there's a significant enough audience, we might actually decide that maybe there's something we want to focus on once a week, make a difference somewhere. Who knows? I don't know. That's crazy talk. Let's talk about manifesting, though. That's always good times. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Stay in radio style. Love each and all of you. Kim W., Lisa Marie, Shy Trisha, Autumn Beauty. We got some Rainy X. You're new into there. I like it. We got all sorts of Gary. Always good to see you. Melissa, Don Champion, Lisa Marie. I think I said you all. Shazad, Ahmed. Thank you for chiming in. All you guys. Mitseri, Rosales. Brown rice in Japan. The best of rice is the healthiest choice, of course. So Shy Trisha, I'm seeing with Nicole. Nice to see you in there. Kim W. Always. Love you guys. This Hill. Already said Don Champion. TP. Woo! All right, you guys. It's been a best. It's been a blast. Next week, same bat time, same bat channel. We'll do it. Love you guys. You're the best.